This is an NBC News special report. Here's Lester Holt.
Good day again, everyone. We're back on the air with more information on a still unfolding situation in Northern California. An apparent shooting incident in San Bruno, just south of San Francisco. Reports of shots fired and police activity at YouTube headquarters there. Some YouTube employees have been seen evacuating the building with their hands raised in certainly a procedure we have seen too many times before. Some posting on social media telling of hearing shots and sheltering in place. San Bruno police posted on Facebook, "We're responding to an active shooter. Please stay away." And we are getting reports from hospitals in the area. They are receiving multiple patients related to this situation. I want to go to Joe Fryer now. He's monitoring all this from our Los Angeles newsroom. Joe?
Lester, here's what we can tell you. At this point, police do confirm an active shooter situation. What we don't know at this point is the status of the person who opened fire and exactly how it unfolded. Was it inside the YouTube headquarters? Did it happen just on the outside? Some people who say they were inside the building at the time have taken to social media. One person saying they could feel the floor shaking and heard rumbling, at first thinking it was an earthquake, then realized that a shooting was taking place. Another employee saying that he heard shots and saw people running, and he at the time was barricaded inside a room with co-workers. Some of the video we've seen coming out of here this afternoon does show workers once again leaving the building in a line, hands up in the air, a sight we've seen time and time again, often outside of schools when shootings happen there. San Francisco General Hospital, which is the level 1 trauma center in the area, says it has received 3 patients and is expecting more. Stanford Medical Center says it's expecting 4 to 5 patients. The conditions of these patients, their injuries, unclear at this time. We should also note Google, which owns YouTube, put out a statement. It says, regarding the YouTube situation, we're coordinating with authorities and will provide additional official information here from Google and YouTube as it becomes available. Lester.
And Joe, my understanding that this is a campus type headquarters, multiple buildings. Is it the belief that whatever took place happened indoors or perhaps on the campus itself outside?
We don't know at this point. It's unclear exactly where this happened or where it started. Oftentimes, if you've been to any of these places in the San Francisco area or Silicon Valley, you'll see they're sort of set up almost like college campuses. People will describe it that way, with a lot of indoor space, but also a lot of outdoor space. So it's unclear at this point exactly where this shooting may have taken place.
Joe Fryer, thank you. This happening just south of San Francisco. It is San Bruno essentially surrounds the San Francisco International Airport. And as we've seen, some streets and even highways have been closed off in the area as police begin to make their set up their perimeter. There's nothing we've seen in the pictures right now that suggests this is still an active shooting, but that is certainly how the call went out. The city officials there saying they received multiple 911 calls about a shooting. And as Joe related, we're hearing some activity now on social media from those who were said to be inside that complex reporting their experience. So all indications suggesting a shooting of some sort took place. At least 2 hospitals reporting they are receiving patients directly tied to this incident. We will continue to cover this. And let me bring in Pete Williams right now, our justice correspondent. Pete, we heard the ATF might be responding here.
The ATF Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives is responding, but right now the investigation and the situation is in the control of the local police, the California Highway Patrol, and the County Sheriff's Office. So the federal officials are standing by to offer their investigative help once the local authorities get their hands on calming the situation, clearing the situation, and then the federal folks, the ATF and the FBI, can help with all the investigative work that has to be done. The massive amount of ballistics work, if shots in fact were fired, where were they fired, where did they come from, who was wounded, and then, of course, trying to figure out the person who did it.
All right, Pete Williams, thank you very much. We want to go to Clint Van Zandt right now, former FBI agent, FBI profiler. Clint, we put these things in categories. We've seen school shootings, but this is a campus very much like a school. And so police seem to be responding in very much the same way that we have seen in some of the school shootings.
Well, one of the differences we're hearing, Lester, is some people suggesting it's a female who committed these shootings. I, like you, perhaps have seen some descriptions on the internet suggesting it may have been a white woman and how she was dressed. Realize there was one statistic I looked at recently that suggested over the last few years, when they looked at 96 mass shootings, 94 of them were conducted by males, only 2 by females. And of course, we remember the San Bernardino, California, where we had the husband-wife team. But should this be a woman, this is very rare, something we don't see very much at all in this country.
All right, Clint, thanks very much. And we should note we have so far no confirmation about who the shooter may be or in terms of casualties, if in fact there are. We do know people are being taken to hospitals. The extent of their injuries, we simply don't know, or how those injuries occurred. Let me quickly go back to Joe Fryer now. Joe, any additional information you can bring us up to speed on?
Lester, simply all we know at this point is at least 3 hospitals in the area are taking victims. We've just learned of a third, Kaiser Permanente in South San Francisco. That is just one patient. It's just an ankle injury. We know at least 3 patients taken to General Hospital in San Francisco. That is the main level 1 trauma center in the area. And then 4 to 5 more patients taken to Stanford Medical Center.
All right, Joe, thank you very much. We have all been through this far too many times, and we know how these things go. Sometimes it takes a long time to begin to piece together the facts. We'll continue to follow it as we get more information on what exactly has occurred and what the extent of injuries or casualties may be. We'll come back on the air with you, so stay with us. I'll, of course, have full coverage when I see you on NBC Nightly News. For now, I'm Lester Holt in New York. Good day, everyone.